Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Rainey Anderson, and I am a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And today I get to bring you a new training series brought to you by your peers. And I cannot be more excited about Erika Mitchell joining us. Erika has been with Plexus she's going into her 5th year with Plexus, and she is a recruiting powerhouse. She also has the gift of creating community within her team, and she has now transformed this into creating an awesome community for her customer base. And so she has agreed to join us today and share some of her tips, secrets, wisdom, and journey with us. So Erika, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So there are many familiar faces on here, but there are also some names and faces that I'm not familiar with. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my background and how I got started with Plexus and kind of where I'm at now. I am a senior Ruby ambassador, and so it's been a long journey for me, but it's been so enjoyable and so worthwhile and fulfilling. When I joined Plexus, we really only knew about losing weight. We just wanted to, right? That was our culture back then. But things have really changed. And so as we learned more about gut health, it was I kind of had to change my ways, even though I had a lot of success with weight loss. A lot of people, once we had some product changes, were not. So we had to kind of reinvent how we were doing things. And as I'm learning, that's kind of the story of this type of business. We're constantly being innovative and learning new ways to appeal to the masses. So what I'm going to talk about today really is came about because we again had more changes in our company, and being able to share testimonials and before and after pictures became a real no-no, and we ended up not being able to do that anymore, so without being non-compliant. And so I had compliance contact me a few times, I'll admit it, and they kind of slapped my hand, but they've always been super nice to me, and we've always been able to work things out. I don't think I'm on a hit list anymore or anything like that, but I think I was at one point. So this idea came to me to let me talk a little bit more about that. So I have been able to recruit. We have about 650 ambassadors on our team. We're known as Team Tanica. My new husband, I think it'll be 3 months very soon that we've been married. He is Tanner, and so Erika, so Tanica kind of was born. And we were kind of, you're making me nervous. Tanner's over here taking a picture of me. I'm like trying not to be distracted. Anyway, so in that time period, I have personally recruited about 200, probably like 230 people, like level ones. And that was because I had huge success with the products. And so they were watching, they were seeing the changes in me. I happen to know a lot of people. I'm just naturally that way. And I guess they trusted me because I had a lot of people want to join and want to get in on the products. However, in this last, going into my 5th year, every single month I have had a strong PV. Like, I don't stop working. I don't sit back and say, okay, well, now I have this team and they're going to do the work for me or anything like that. I'm constantly out there, constantly going for it because I enjoy it. It's something that I really love. And coming up with new ways to appeal to people is really fun to me. So I will say, like, the challenge with that is giving it enough time to work. But I think that we have struck gold with what we're doing now. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've done to help create community amongst our customers team-wide. So I always felt comfortable with our ambassador page. We have a page called Team Tanica, and that's someone joins our team and we automatically plug them into that group. It's great. Everybody welcomes them. That's where I put information that they get in their email anyway, but never check. You know what I'm talking about. And so, that was always a great place to have people connected and plugged in. But I felt like something was missing, like we were missing a link somewhere, because when you have a lot of customers like I have, it's hard to follow up and keep up with them on a regular basis. People get lost, and as I can have as many lists as I want, but if they're not responding to me, they might go to the bottom of the list, and then it's been 2 months since I've heard from them. Now I don't want to contact them because what if they hate the products? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So as long as you see their auto ship on, you're like, I guess that means that all is well, right? But so this idea came to me about 8 months before I actually put it into play, and Tanner was on me. He's like, Erika, you know that these ideas come to you for a reason, but if you don't put them into play, then what good are they, right? Because we have people contact us all the time that not even Plexus related people, just people in network marketing or in business, and they'll say like, what is the secret sauce? What are you doing? How are you able to make this your full-time living? Because on my personal page, I don't talk about Plexus at all. About maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I changed how I was marketing myself. And so, because I noticed that people were just using Google and not coming to me. And so I never knew if they were really interested or not, because they wouldn't come to me. They would just go to Dr. Google, right? So that's a whole other story. I'm not really going to talk a whole lot about that, except for that y'all should look into attraction marketing, because it really does work. And so anyhow, what we tell people when they come to us is that we believe that ideas, as long as you're out in the universe, you've got your goal on your brain, you've got it written down, ideas are going to come to you, and it's up to you to act on them. And this is a prime example of that happening. So we preach duplication. We tell our teams all the time, do this, you'll be successful if you do this. But the fact of the matter is their personality is different than mine. And if they're not comfortable doing what I'm doing, they're not going to do it long term, and therefore they won't have success long term. So this is a way that we've been able to get our ambassadors to add their customers and spoon feed them great quality content and information. So what we did was we created a page called Plexus Support Group. I had to think about that. Crazy. And what I did was I partnered with Monique Brown, who is my rock star leader in Canada. Hey, Monique. And her personality is very different than mine. Hers is very science-minded, very clinical. She's a retired pharmacist. That should say plenty, right? And because I knew that my knowledge was not going to be enough to make this page a success. I could add the fun factor, I could add the people, but as far as the nuts and bolts with ingredients and products, I knew that that's not my strong suit. And she's on my team. Like, of course I want to include all of her team in this goodness, right? So then Katie Wheeler, who's a sideline sister, she's also very strong when it comes to products and nutrition and food information. And so I asked them if they would want to partner with me with this group and be the admins of this group with me. I also know that they're very dedicated to their businesses, and they weren't going to leave me high and dry, doing all the work for them. So two women that I trust and admire. And so I got with them and asked them if it was something they would be willing to do, because it is a time commitment. I mean, we do have to go on and, put great content out there. But also they were going to be adding a lot of value to the page. So they were perfect fits. And then I have Tanner's also an admin, and then we have another Ruby ambassador on our team that's also an admin on the page. So the moral of that story is get with those that you know and trust, and that could, maybe be those strong ambassadors in areas that maybe you're not as strong in, so that y'all can help each other along. And I just asked them yesterday. I had a potential contact me, and she basically sent me a screenshot of her doctor's like findings in her labs, and I don't know what that means. So I sent it to my ladies, my power partners here, to help me out to, help decipher what it should be that I recommend for her. So get with people, align yourself with people that have your same type of goals in mind when you do something like that. So, all right, I'm going to continue. I see what you're writing, Katie. I'll get to that in a little bit because I can't figure out how to read it all without obstructing my screen. So anyhow, we started in August, and we added all of our past customers, we started with current customers because we knew they wouldn't be mad at us for adding them, because obviously they're taking the products and they're feeling good about it and stuff. So we added them, and then it kind of became a task to go through, especially with the changes in the system that we've had, to find your past customers. But I reached out to each of them with a voice message and told them that, because most of them didn't even know about the new Slim, right? So I wanted to make sure that they knew I wasn't just adding them to old news, like I had something new for them. And so I voicemailed a bunch and just said, hey, we've created this new page. It's so awesome. I would love to join you, or to have you join. And you can always leave the group at any time, but I really hope you stay because we have some great new things that you probably don't know about. And so I never got an angry message back. Nobody ever said no thank you. Everybody just let it go. So, I mean, that's what I was comfortable with doing, but I know that a lot of people I don't know very well, I talked to ahead of time and said, hey, would you mind if I added you to this group, instead of adding them and then telling them I added them? So that's up to you. I would definitely, we don't want to be like the lashes people that just put you in all these groups and you don't even know what's going on and you just leave. We want to make sure that we're providing value. And so that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. Before we started adding all these people, we spent some time and put great content on the page. You don't want to add somebody to a page that doesn't have anything there. You want to make sure that you do it in an order that would make sense. Picture yourself being added to a new group and what you would do once you're on a customer page. You know, you would scroll, you would want to see things. So then we made the announcement to our teams that they could go ahead and join and have their customers and potentials join. And that is huge because now you've got a whole new fresh set of eyes and ears. These are people that have asked about Plexus but never did anything. These are people that will talk, you know, when I see them out in public, they'll ask me like, how's it going? That kind of thing, checking on me. I add them to that page as well. These are people that just, you know, there's an interest, but they haven't really done anything yet. Or you know they'll be yours one day. There's plenty of those people out there that I'm like, I know she's going to join my team at some point. You know, those are the kinds of people. And so it grew, and we are almost 1,200 people strong on our customer page because our team is large, right? So our team is, we've encouraged them to add their potentials, and whenever anybody gets a new customer, they get added to the page. And every day, Katie, Monique, and I, one of us, we message each other every day. One of us will put great content out there. When you're choosing who you're going to partner with someone who is really good at spelling. You want to look professional. You want this page to look like a business and not a hobby. So as hard as it is, and sometimes I want to put funny memes on and, you know, be silly like that, I have to kind of reel myself in because I don't want people to feel like it's not a valuable group and leave. And so align yourself with those people that you know are going to make you look like you really want to look, because all of my potentials are on this page, just like all of Katie's potentials and all of Monique's potentials. So you want to be able to trust those people that you're adminning with to do that, to present you in a way that you want to be presented. Great content means we make a lot of our own graphics. We don't use a lot of anything we really see out there. I might see something and copy it and make it my own. We are trying to brand ourselves as professionals, so nothing fuzzy or, you know, hard to read or anything like that. And it's just been like we have someone new on this, well, newish on here, Andrea. She has not known Plexus without this page. Ever since she started, we've had this page. So I've heard really good things from our new ambassadors, because it's such an easy way to plug your potentials and your customers into a group without being overbearing. And sometimes, like, Katie has a new person on that she just added to our page, and she has a specific ailment. And so in about a week, you better believe one of us is going to be making a post. Probably not her, but Monique or I will be making a post about this particular ailment to ensure that she sees it. And then Katie can go in and tag her and say, hey, did you see this? Oh my gosh, I really want you to read about this, or whatever. And so, you know, little by little, you're influencing more and more. And if nothing else, you're on their brain, you know. Monique or Katie, would either of you like to talk about our page for just a minute? All right, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Monique.
One thing that I'm really starting to like is that we are seeing engagement from people on the page. Some of the new customers are sharing their testimonials, but we have it set up that anybody that wants to add something, we have to approve it first. And if any customer or ambassador that's on there has a really engaging post, we invite them to share that as well, but we always admin it first. But I'm starting to really love the connections that are being made amongst the customers that are using their products and sharing their testimonials.
Yeah, it's really awesome when someone is excited about starting their journey and they post a picture on our page of just their package, or with their first pink drink, or whatever it may be. And that's kind of how I took notice in Andrea, was she was so verbal on there. And, you know, it was kind of a newer page at the time, and she was just so excited to get started. And so I thought, I got to watch her. And then she did the same thing on our ambassador page. And so you can kind of see who your shiny, glittery people are. You know, it's really awesome. Katie, did you want to share?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to also note that this is definitely a group page. It's not a business page. And with business pages, those are public. So with we have a secret group. And with that, we're able to control more of the information without it being seen outside of the group. And we don't allow people to copy and paste what's in the group and post it publicly either. So ambassadors added to the page know that this is for the group. It's a private place to share.
Yes, that's very important. That being said, the topics that we can talk about are endless. Like, we've had sessions where we Zoom, the three of us, and we say, okay, these are all the things that we need to cover. You know, like the ailments that Plexus has helped people with, the list goes on forever. So we never are running out of things. And we actually just realized last week that we very rarely talk about edge. So now we're going to up that game. And nerve. almost never talk about nerve. So, I mean, we definitely have some work to do in organizing ourselves, but we talk a lot about triplex. We talk a lot about probiotics. Not only do you have all those ailments that you can talk about, but you have ingredients that you can talk about and expand on for customers that are found in our products. So these are all people in this group that have shown an interest at least or have used our products before. So it's not spamming them. This is giving them useful quality content and spoon feeding them great information. I met Cheryl Lowe at Leaders Retreat, and we sat together and I told her about this. It had just started at that point a few months prior. And she has put this into place with her team and a couple of her leaders, and she has reported back really good success. So it's not just something that we're doing that nobody else could do. Like, this is something totally duplicatable that you can do to add content, good content to your potentials. I mean, isn't that what we want to do anyway? You know, and what this has done has freed up my personal Facebook to not look like a commercial, you know? So basically, the way that I described it to somebody just the other day that was asking me about it was, it's like a 24/7 Facebook party. Like, we're constantly putting out good information, testimonials, stories, before and afters. At this point, we are not talking about the business side. We're just trying to interest people in what we have to offer as far as products go. I don't know that won't be something that we add later. It's just not something that we've done yet. We also don't do prizes on this page. And in an effort to keep it professional and very kind of businessy, I don't know if that's something we'll add later. We haven't really talked about it, but it's just, we're just not at that point yet. It would be kind of fun to do a couple giveaways or something like that, but to get people more engaged. But at this point, we haven't. But it's just a great little group. I love our group. It's something that I'm so grateful came to me because I was really struggling to, I mean, I don't have 100 preferred customers, but I have like between 12 and 15 every month, you know, and it's kind of hard to keep up. So it's just been a really great way to keep everybody connected. I'm not looking at, let me try to open this chat. I saw somebody said something. Oh, okay. So what's the number one question that y'all think, what's everybody, type in here, tell me what your question is, because I think I know. I just want to see if I'm right. No, that's a great question, Elizabeth. Nobody has to answer anything, because we've seen several people added that are not mutual friends with us, especially those Canadians. They're going buck wild up there. And so this is something that's kind of new in Canada. So, and it hasn't even really officially launched. So we have people adding all the time, people that we don't know and we're not mutual friends with. I do check to make sure that they're not Plexus employees, because I'm not trying to get flagged by compliance. But how do you know to approve them, their connection? Yeah, so I usually will look and see who their mutual friends are. And if it's not somebody that I recognize, I'll kind of try to check that out. I put my inspector hat on and try to check out. Sometimes I'll message Katie and Monique and say, do you know who this is? Or something like that. I've actually had this on, yep. And I'll tell you what, Brenna, it was on my brain for 8 months. So stupid. I don't know why I didn't do it before. Like, I think I just kind of have an aversion to creating team or pages because it's just like one more thing to manage. But this is actually something that's so useful. And we've seen a lot of positive, great things. So I thought that the number one question would be, can you add me to the group so I can see what y'all are doing? And See, don't be shy. I expected that. And we talked about that. Yes, the different, we can definitely add you to the page as a guest. So what we're going to ask of anybody that's asking to be added, really, you're just a fly on the wall. You're just watching to see what we do, what we put out there, how we do it, how often. That's another thing that I was going to talk about is it's not 10 posts a day. We're not in the business of wearing people out. We try to do 1 or 2 a day. Sometimes it's more than that if people are posting that are not us admins, which we invite and love. So yeah, whenever somebody posts, we always approve it, as long as it's appropriate and not, if it's negative, I message them directly for the most part, because usually they just don't realize that they shouldn't be posting that on this page. So yes, I would love to add whoever wants to be added. Please just private message me. But it will be for like a 30-day period. That should be plenty of time for you to see what we're doing. And then I will remove you from the page at that point. The reason for that is, the other thing is please do not add any of your customers or ambassadors to the page either. We want to make sure Katie is our kind of our stats person, and she keeps a close eye on our likes and our commenting, and we kind of track pretty closely the engagement that we have to try to give us better direction as to how to proceed with the page. So if you want to be added, just message me and we will definitely get you on there. Any other questions or anything? I don't know. Did I leave anything important out, ladies? Think I covered it all? All right, cool. Well, I think that really covers our customer page pretty well. I hope that y'all have gotten some inspiration and want to do something like this for your own team. It's a really great thing, y'all. Like, I cannot speak highly enough about it. It's been something that has been just so great for our new people to plug people in such an easy way. And then we can control what they're seeing as their leaders. It's been really good. You got something, Katie?
Yes, sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't muted. Somebody asked about engagement on the page, that they have people commenting or not commenting, and how do you boost engagement? And I think, a lot of people are going to be seeing it but not commenting, and that's okay. But
and you can track that too.
And you can track it in the stats, yes. And, tagging people on posts is very effective. And Erika just has such a great way about the language that she uses when she does that. She's just very natural. And I know she made an example of it earlier in this Zoom, just kind of, hey, I thought of you, right, Erika? Like, you'll just say, this is great, you should read this, whatever. So that's a great way to build that interaction and just keep adding.
Yeah, it's been really awesome to see even our newer people add their people, pretty much right off the bat. So,
and somebody else asked if we post corporate specials. We do, but we keep it to a minimum. We kind of post the basics and say, talk to the person who added you to the group, because not any one of us on that page is advertising for ourselves, our websites, whatever, right? It's a group effort. It's for our team. So we want to do the one Plexus thing on there and put the info out there, but we keep it very basic.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that we really can't talk about is, like, sometimes we'll be offering free shipping, but I'll throw in like an extra 10% off or something like that. We have to be very mindful not to do those kinds of things, because not everybody in the group, say they're just starting out as an ambassador and they don't have the liberty to be able to offer that at this point because they haven't built their business yet. We want to be very careful to always just keep it very corporate specials only, so that nobody's feeling like, oh, well, I can't do that, that kind of thing. What are your thoughts about your team members that create your own groups? I think it's, Monique, why don't you talk about that? I know we've talked about this a lot.
Well, for you, Andrea, I think you have such great benefit by having this, and it's already there for you. So do you want to go through all the work? Like, you're always welcome to add your own posts. And we love your team. Your team is so engaging on that page, which is really wonderful, which I really think is a big reflection of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I don't know, at this early point in your ambassadorship, I don't know that I would suggest starting one at this point.
I think around senior gold, ruby is probably, or maybe gold even. No, maybe like senior gold, ruby is a good time to, because the fact of the matter is when you are bringing a new person on and you immediately add them to, 5 team pages, it's a little much. And so we want to be, kind of picky in how we do that. We don't want to overwhelm people. When I first started with Plexus, it wasn't that way at all. We had like 2 team pages, like I had my uplines page, the mangoes page, that's my upline, and then one other page, I think, at that point. But now as we're growing and growing, I have a level 11 now. And so it's, just too much. Imagine if everybody had a page. Whoa.
Yeah. For Andrea, if you wanted to have, like Jolene on our team, she started a little team page, but she doesn't put too much content on there because she is still putting her people on my page on Team Tanica. Team Mango. So, but she does just share some personal stuff in her page.
Yeah, I think she has a lot of very clinically minded people, so they want to delve into the science of it a little bit more than probably the average. What were you going to say?
I wanted to clarify that I don't want to do this. I think what we all have through, the Monique's page and Team Tanica page is all we really need, and that customer support page is amazing. But I do have team members who are thinking that they want to do that, and I think it's redundant. So I just wanted to get your feedback on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're pointing them in the right direction for sure. Jen says, I think it's important for every ambassador to be on a Jules page for corporate info, and then their sponsors page, and then a support product page. Yeah, I think that's a great combo. 3 pages is probably enough. We don't want to overwhelm people.
I want to say something too, that the other thing that's been really beneficial for those of us who do have a team page, we used to be struggling to post product information and testimonials in our team pages. Now we have all of our ambassadors on this support page. So that kind of frees up our team page to be more about the business, where your wholesale ambassadors may not get as much of that. So that's been a great freedom, right?
Yeah.
Different pages that do different things. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said before, freeing up my personal Facebook page to truly be a personal Facebook page, not like I'm not seeing that I'm having a lot of people unfriend me or unfollow me anymore, because I can control what I'm putting out there because I have this page to do the work.
I've seen people come back too. People that haven't commented on a post in 2 years commented on something over Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it's not Plexus all day long.
Yeah. It's incredible for that. Definitely. All right, Rainey, I think as long as everybody's questions are out.
I think it's been such great information, and I want to thank you for sharing how the nuts and bolts of this page and how it's working for you. I absolutely love the fact that you have partnered with people on your team that you trust, and that this isn't an individual effort. How often do we get in a position as leaders thinking we have to do it all by ourselves because we're the leader, right? This is a way to lift up leaders within your own team. This is a way to edify your people and make sure that they're being stretched and that they're growing. I think that this is such a challenge in our industry, because sometimes ego, sometimes you can't ask for help, because we don't know how to empower others. We don't know how to delegate. But this page has absolutely been, I think, not only a source of, freeing your personal page, of advertising in a very non-aggressive way to people that are curious about Plexus. And so there's so many pluses to it. And I would encourage you to, number one, the generosity for you to invite people to be a guest on this page, to be a fly on the wall. And I will ask and stress that be your position on the page, that you would truly, as a guest, be a fly on the wall, because it is incredibly generous that she's allowing and opening up her community to us. And that's part of the One Plexus culture. So I'm grateful for that, Erika. I think you executed that beautifully. And I know that your personal inbox is about to blow up with message requests, because not only will we have people requesting this from, just the people that are on this call live, but we've got playback. So I would anticipate the explosion of that. So maybe for those of you that are watching this back, not only could you message Erika, but also Katie and Monique to kind of spread out some of the messages that will be going in, as well as Tanner Mitchell. It sounds like those are your admins there, and so that might help spread out some of the abundance in your own personal mailbox. In addition, I would just encourage you to pray about how you can utilize this for your team. Erika and Monique and Katie said it well. There's no reason for you to, everybody on every team, to have this page. Partner with your teammates. Don't make it all about, don't carry the heavy load. Many hands make light work. Many hands make light work. That's a phrase that we say in our family often, especially when it comes to kitchen cleanup. So if everybody helps out a little bit, we get out of the kitchen pretty quickly. But if it's all on mama or daddy, then you kind of start to resent that, right? And we can get in that position as leaders. Again, I love the fact that you partnered, that you were committed to great content, and then in addition that you strategize on the post. Y'all, at the end of the day, a lot of what we do is about strategy, listening. And it's not, you don't have to be super smart. You don't have to be a rocket science to strategize. Listening to the needs of the people that that are on that page, and then speaking to those needs indirectly. How genius is that? And then, and then to just circle this back around, I love the fact that this is an opportunity to lift other leaders. So Erika, great job. Amazing content. I think that you have inspired many people, and you'll continue to throughout your journey. It's been an incredible pleasure to watch you grow and just develop and then develop others. The key to any success in what we do is the duplication, and I'm so proud to be a part of this with you all. So I thank you for your time, for tuning in. Thank you, Erika Mitchell, for being amazing. Thank you, Katie Wheeler and Monique, for being equally amazing. We didn't ask you to speak today, and the fact that you stepped up and you were prepared and you did it so eloquently is a gift, and we're grateful for it. So I would just ask, for those of you that are on video, kind of do like a thank you, a jazzy hand, something just to let Erika and the girls know that you appreciate their time. I'm going to sign off and thank you all so much for being a part of this. Until the next time, go Plexus and go team.